God, how stupid was I to sit down here, watch this whole thing, knowing that this boy was going to die and still hope. But then what she was planning to do with her son, oh my God. Hi people, welcome back. If it's your first time, my name is Hae Adewale and this is DISBYDEM. Today we're going to be doing a review of Mr.Plankton, which is a 2024 K-drama series that just noticed that my mic might not be fully. Shit. I just did a whole reaction and I don't think it was in there. Fudge buckets. Anywho, it is a 2024. God damn it! Mr.Plankton is a 2024 K-drama series that just got released on Netflix. It stars... Who's in it again? Hold up. Woo Do-hwan, who plays Hae-jo, and Lee Yu-mi, who plays Jimmy. Be sure to like the video. Go ahead and like the video, comment, subscribe, and let's just get into it. So, storyline is Mr.Plankton explores themes of identity, family, and healing through a road trip narrative. Hae-jo is this guy who's dealing with a terminal illness and abandonment. He has, oh boy, does he have serious abandonment issues. Well, in his rights too. What happened to him was honestly, it was despicable and atrocious, honestly. So, well in his rights to have abandonment issues, he embarks on this quest to find his biological father, and he forces his ex-girlfriend, Jamie, to come along. The story blends humor and bittersweet undertones, evolving from a romantic comedy into a profound exploration of self-discovery. I would say that while I could appreciate the unique premise and some of the heartfelt moments, the execution and sometimes the pacing was lacking for me. One thing that I will give them is that they tell you he is going to die. You see him dying throughout the entire series, and yet you still hope at the end that he doesn't die. Because it's only 10 episodes, and episode 9 hit me like a ton of bricks. I'm a softie, you guys know. I'm not really, but when it comes to these shows, I am. In life, I'm not. But when it comes to these shows, I'm a huge softie. Any breeze, and I'm crying like an infant, you know? But episode 9 hit me so hard, and I was just sitting there minding my own business, and the tears were just flowing. And when episode 10 rolled around, I was like, God, how stupid was I to sit down here, watch this whole thing, knowing that this boy was going to die and still hope that he wouldn't. That is good writing, if you ask me. That is how you get a story across. That is how you get meaning across. And that is how you get a story to hit home with the audience. So for me, in that aspect, they delivered. We will talk about where they fell short and some of the other things that went on in the show. Character development. So Hae-jo and Jamie, they are the center of the narrative. This is based on them. She's dealing with her own shit. He's dealing with his own shit. And both of them undergo significant personal growth in this. I'm not really sure. Well, I know why. I just didn't like how he had treated her in the past. And I know why he did it, but it still didn't make sense. And he kept on, holding that same... It's like insanity. If it didn't work the first time, what makes you think that it will keep working, as you go? He kept on pushing people just because he was, guarding his own self. Or sometimes because he loved them, he would let them go. But the way he would let them go was so disrespectful, and I just hated it. The pain, the suffering, the torture was unnecessary for what he had to go through and what he was putting other people through, is what I'm trying to get across here. Hae-jo does transform from a detached wanderer to someone who finds meaning in his relationship, and I think that was poignant throughout the entire series. Jamie's journey, which centered around insecurities and family estrangement. So she's an orphan who's dealing with that whole scenario, trying to create her own family and finds out that she can't. It does complement Hae-jo's arc, because the two of them, and when you see the two of them, their storylines, they fit so well, and you're thinking, you guys are meant to be. So why not just be? Because when he pushed her away in the first place, the first time around, he didn't know he was sick. He just did it because he didn't think that he could give her what she wanted. And it's like, she is exactly what you need. How do you not see this? You know? The only thing was that the chemistry between them, it wasn't sizzling enough. I would say they were giving BFFs who tried something out and it might not work, rather than, you know, cosmic fated partners with this, you know, sizzling romance between them. He is a stunner. You guys know that I loved him. I've only seen him in The King, Eternal Monarch, and he was a looker in that. He is like thirst trap 101, you know. He's all that. I like her in Strong Girl Namsoon. I think that she's got this cutesy, girly, homegirl vibe to her, and you kind of just fall in love with her when she's on your screen. Unfortunately, I don't think it worked for them as a couple. You know, they were supposed to have this hot, passionate, you know, intense romance between them, and it wasn't giving that. Not for me. I would say that their chemistry, I actually did rate them because I'm doing this whole thing for the end of the year, and I will say their chemistry was about 80%. That was what I rated them, maybe even less. Pacing for the entire series. While the initial episodes are lighthearted and comedic, the tonal shift is deeper. Like it gets really deep with emotional themes later on. And when I say deep, guys, they like pat your chest and like straight to your heart. They do that. So I'm not really sure why I watched this thing. I watched it because of him. If I mean Woo Do-hwan. He was the reason why I said I just came off King Eternal Monarch and I was like, it's him, let's watch. And obviously, what's her name? The girl from Strong and Monsoon. I was like, oh, these two, perfect. I just watched these shows, you know, within a year of each other. Let's see what they have. Had I read the synopsis before I watched this, I would not have watched it. I like romance. It is where I am at. If I'm watching murder mystery, I'm watching murder mystery. If I'm watching action, I'm watching action. If I'm watching romance, I'm watching romance. If I'm watching comedy, I'm watching comedy. Do not kill people on my show. I don't want it. So, had I read it, I would not have watched it. But did I enjoy it? Yes. For pacing, again, it does give and take here and there, but in the grand scheme of things, considering it's only 10 episodes, I think it's fine. I think they did a good job. I love that the whole chase for, you know, the guys that were after him was not the entire season. I loved that. I loved that it came to an end, because when it came to an end, I was like, are you sure? Are you sure this is where it's stopping? It did. And I loved that very much. Other series would have taken it to the end. It's this episode 16 that they will be free from whoever it is that's chasing them. And they didn't do that here. So I can appreciate that. So yes, even though pacing is disruptive here and there, it is not so bad that it takes away from the series. Let's go to the strengths of the show. The show excels in its thematic depth, tackling difficult subjects like morality, abandonment, and family relationships. They handle those with sensitivity. Honestly, they did perfect. Let's go into Hae-jo's story. So Hae-jo, his parents had him, like his dad had stored his sperm in a sperm bag, and they had him, you know, that way. Unfortunately, they'd used the sperm from they'd used the wrong number. He was 139 supposedly, and they used 137 to make him. Now, if I was the sperm bank, I swear down I'm taking that secret to my grave, because how do you come back from something like that? Is it ethical? No. But the repercussions, and I get why they did it. Honestly, I do. It's the legal thing to do. It's the right thing to do. But the repercussions that came out of telling his parents that they had used the wrong sperm to make him, it was catastrophic. Because at first, I was like, how would his parents just abandon him? His father pretended like he wasn't there. They didn't really say anything to his mother. At first, I was like, okay, yes, I get that the dad is not the sperm donor. Maybe, yes, he can feel any type of way. But how would the mother, you know, abandon her child? It's still her egg. It doesn't matter whose sperm it is. It's still your egg. So how do you abandon your child? And then when they explained that, and I think it was episode 9, maybe that they explained that, and I was just crying. I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry I judged you, Mama. Oh my God. But then what she was planning to do with her son, oh my God. Oh my god, I'm trying not to spoil too much because if it's only 10 episodes, so I will definitely encourage people to watch this. And I don't want to take everything away, from the series. I will give some spoilers, but I don't want to put everything out there. But oh my god, like crazy. So he's dealing with that, finds out that he has these blood vessels in his brain, like ticking time bombs, that are about to burst. He has basically 3 months or less. Now, I don't think that he necessarily wanted to find his biological father to, pay him back for the disease because it was a hereditary disease. I think he was just angry and needed an outlet. So he goes on this journey, finds out the people who were possibly potentially his biological dad, so the 137 sperm donors, and then goes on his way and grabs his ex-girlfriend. Now, Jamie, who is the ex-girlfriend, is dealing with her own crap. So she and Hae-jo had dated a while ago. He'd broken up with her in the most brutal way. She's found this other guy who she's dating, but he's from a rich family and they didn't want him to marry her. So he suggests that she pretend that she's pregnant, because that's a huge thing in their family. They have to continue the family line. Where, ironically, the woman who was playing her grandmother-in-law, her mother-in-law was actually her grandmother in Strong Il Namsoon. We love her. So they go through all this, and then 3 days before the wedding, she finds out that she's got early onset menopause. Now, the menopause, that whole marriage part was not even the main thing for her. She's an orphan. Her mom abandoned her at an orphanage as a baby. And so she's had to grow up without parents. Her only dream is to have a child so that she could be a parent herself. I'm sorry, I'm a softie. I told you guys. And now she finds out that she has only early onset menopause. And it's like, why? And I get it, people go through these things on a daily basis, and it's so messed up. But why? Like, just why? So Hae-jo decides that he hears her losing her shit in the hospital when she finds out that she's got early onset menopause, can't have a baby, her potential marriage is definitely maybe not even going to happen at this point. He hears all of that, so he sneaks off on her wedding day and kidnaps her. Now, I think that he did her a service. She had tried to run away the night before and got caught, I think I did her a good service because there was no way she was going, there was no point marrying into that family, but she was going to do it anyway because she wanted family so bad. And I don't blame her. Is it deceptive? Yes. But I don't blame her that was the decision that she made. I know that she probably would have come clean in the end, but I don't blame her that was the decision that she made. So these are the main people. Her husband-to-be was Oh Hyung. He would always shout his name. He was played by Jung-se, who was in Death's Game. He was the police officer in Death's Game. This character was completely opposite to the character from Death's Game. I was shook at. It was jarring, actually, because this character kind of comes off as a simp in the beginning, and you're like, oh, okay, this is your choice, Jamie, okay? But then he's that kind of person that has so much heart, determination, is actually really strong-willed, and kind of grows on you, and by the end of the series, you are really just in love with him. And I loved it. His own thing is that he's the only son, and he's basically been ruled by his mom. Honestly, like, the woman has ruled him with an iron fist, and he doesn't really have a say on his own. But in his own life, he's very determined. He moved hell and earth to find Jamie when she was kidnapped. He did whatever he can to help Jamie's ex-boyfriend, even after finding out that he was the ex-boyfriend. He supported him. They all became weird friends and family. It was very beautiful in the end, how everything just came together. I was very confused at one point when Oh Hyung and Hae-jo were riding together. I was like, is Hae-jo hallucinating because maybe his brain problem is, acting up or something? I was surprised. That was part of the pacing thing that I didn't really understand. But in the end, it really did come together to make a very beautiful story. So some weaknesses, it struggles with tonal consistency and sometimes feels disjointed. I just explained that when I said that I wasn't sure how Oh Hyung and Hae-jo got together. The comedy and the dramatic elements sometimes clash. Yes, because it will jar you sometimes. They would do comedy and then it will shift, like, without any... sometimes it would be a jarring shift is the best way that I can describe it, and that would sometimes take away from it. It led to emotional detachment from the scene and what was going on. And then there's the romantic subplot between the leads, as well as his side. I don't even know whether to call her his mom, his lover, or there was just something. There was a weird thing between the four people who were romantically connected on the show. More especially the triangle than the square. And the triangle was Hae-jo, Jamie, and what was her name? Bong-sook. Sorry. It was swirling in my head. Bong-sook. That was a little weird for me. I understood it. I did. I think she was family. But their relationship sometimes was a little, and that whole triangle was a little weird for me. But apart from that, it wasn't anything that really removed too much from the story. And it's something that once you put your mind to it, that, oh, this is what it is, you move on with it. I would say that the show could have benefited from smoother pacing, for sure, for a more balanced integration of the comedic side and the dramatic side. And then the romantic chemistry, there's nothing they can do about it. It is what it is, right? Between the main leads. Had it been a little more intense and passionate, like if they had that intense and passionate romantic chemistry, I think it would have added more to the story than what we had. But overall, it was a good story. Despite the flaws, it offers a unique and introspective viewing experience, for sure. It makes it worth watching, I think. If you are a fan of emotionally charged narratives and existential themes, existential crisis, this is for you 100%. Would I watch this again? Hell no. It was too much for me. It was too much. I'm very glad that I watched it once. I am extremely happy that I stumbled upon this and I decided to watch it and I watched it. But it is not my go-to. I'm a romance gal, I hate people dying. That's why Goblin lives with me forever. But I'm a romance gal. Like this, I just want people to be on my screen in love 24/7. There's nothing wrong with that, people. But if you do like those themes of emotional depth and existential crisis, this is for you 100%. On a scale, I would give it a solid 8.9, guys. Honestly, all the flaws aside, I think they came together and they did a wonderful thing. And it was 10 episodes. Extra points for that. It was 10 episodes. I definitely would recommend it for you guys. But yeah, it was a bit of a different kind of review than I usually do because it was a bit of a different kind of show than I usually watch. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure you did like the video, leave your comments, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.